Hello, my name is Cindy Mattalucci, and you're watching The Pulse, where we get the 411 on all the latest and greatest things to do in this amazing city, San Diego. From the newest bars and restaurants to the chicest boutiques, to the gyms and the trainers that are getting the people of this city buff 365 days a year, to the place you want to go to get your spa on. I'm exploring it all for you, and of course, having fun along the way. So, come with me while we put our finger on the pulse of San Diego. This episode of The Pulse was brought to you by Flax for Life, who's spreading the love with nutritious and delicious baked goods rich with flax. Their products are high in fiber, loaded with omega-3s, certified gluten-free, nut-free, dairy-free, and kosher. On today's episode, we sit down with Dr. Ian K. Smith, who released his 20th book, Fast Burn: The Power of Negative Energy Balance. Then we're in studio with a fun fashion segment with Fashion Week San Diego. We show you why this has been a staple in San Diego for the last 14 years. Hey everybody, it's Cindy Mattalucci, your host of The Pulse and Live with Cindy. I'm so excited about my next guest. I have New York Times bestselling author and new anchor host of the syndicated television show The Doctors, Dr. Ian Smith. How are you?
Great, thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to have you. I've been following you for a long time. Now, you released your 20th book, which is a unique intermittent fasting plan combining the power of time and restricted eating with an easy-to-follow, detailed program that spells everything out in Fast Burn: The Power of Negative Energy Balance. So I'm dying to dive into this, but first of all, I have to say congratulations on 20 books. How does it feel to write 20 books?
Well, you don't realize it until you reach it. And I didn't realize it was coming until my editor said, this is your 20th book. So it feels good. I've been doing this for a little while. But I guess I'm excited about Fast Burn because I think of all my programs, this is probably my biggest and my boldest program. And I really put a great effort into writing this program from the vantage point of the user. I think about all the excuses I get over the years from people who say, for some reason or another, why they can't follow a plan. And so I incorporate it. You can have alcohol, there's pasta, there's steak for meat eaters, there's bread, there's everything in here. It's not a pizza. It's not what it's missing. It's about keeping as much regular, normal, fun stuff in the program and still help people lose weight.
Well, and I was going to say that too, because I love my wine. So I was really excited when I read that you could have a little bit of wine. So I feel like it's not overly restricting. And I was really excited too, because you really break it down and you make everything very simple. And I've done a lot of programs and sometimes they're not simple. So I appreciate that. So let's dive into it. I mean, I have my copy too. I'm really, really excited. But let's talk about the book and the 9-week program. How does it work?
Yeah, so the idea is that every week of the program is designed to be different. The first 4 weeks are called ignition. So it's kind of you're getting going. I gradually put you into the state of flipping your energy balance over. And by that, I mean positive energy when you have, and not positive spiritual energy, but positive energy as far as food is concerned, is when you have too many calories on board and you don't burn enough of them off. So you're now in a positive energy state, so you gain weight. Negative energy state, which is what I start doing with you in the first 4 weeks, is that you're eating, and by the way, you're eating 3 meals and 3 snacks a day, but the way I have you eating it, you aren't getting enough energy to meet the demands of your body, which is where I want that to happen, because then your body has to go somewhere to get the extra energy, and it goes into your fat stores because fat is a storage form of energy. So it takes the fat cells, it shrinks them, it melts them, converts that into fuel that your body can use. And so that's a negative energy balance state, which is why people on average are not just losing 15 to 17 pounds in 9 weeks, but they're also reporting that they're losing lots of inches around the midsection because we're actually melting, burning fat to use it for energy. And so I think what people are really liking, not just the results of the program, but they're liking the fact that they can actually physically see the change in their appearance and their conditioning, how they feel walking up steps, walking to catch a flight from security to the gate. So it's really just not about losing weight, though obviously that's important. It's also about improving your other normal daily activities of functioning.
Well, and you talk about sort of how the fat ends up from the food onto our bodies, right? Because we don't really understand that, but you break it down. You talk about the good sources, the bad sources, the trans fat. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. Can you touch on the trans fat and the fats?
Yeah, let me just say that fats are considered to be a macronutrient. There are 3 macronutrients: protein, carbs, and fats. And we call them macronutrients because macro means large. We need all 3 of them in large supply to live and to be healthy. So people who say, don't eat fat, fat is the devil, that's actually not true. Not all fats are the devil. We actually need fats. It helps to insulate our bodies. It also is important in our cell membranes. But you have to eat good fats, good dietary fats. What are those fats? The unsaturated fats. When you see the word unsaturated, good fat. So monounsaturated, polyunsaturated, those are great fats that you want to eat. The fats you want to eat less of are the saturated fats. Now, you find things like that, like creams, lard, butter, poultry, skin of poultry, those kind of things. So I'm not saying totally eliminate it, but reduce the amount that you're eating. Now, the fats you want to completely avoid, and by the way, the book gives you all these different sources. The fats you want to completely avoid are the trans fats. Trans fats are extremely bad for you. You don't want any trans fats whatsoever. But here, this is the key. It's not just the word trans fats you need to look for, because manufacturers are very sneaky. They also give you the chemical name on the label and they don't call it trans fats. So also look for the words hydrogenated oils or partially hydrogenated oils. Those 2 terms equal trans fats, and you want to make sure you avoid them.
Wow, they're sneaky.
Very.
They're sneaky. Okay, so
Yes.
The other thing I wanted to touch on too, because I have inflammation in my body, and I know you talk about inflammation and you talk about intermittent fasting, and it actually helps people that have inflammation.
Yes. So inflammatory or anti-inflammatory diets are really big. We believe that inflammation is the cause for a lot of illnesses, and I think we're just really scratching the surface of finding out what inflammation does to the body and all the different illnesses that have a path through inflammation. But one thing about intermittent fasting, which we use in Fast Burn, is that it is anti-inflammatory, which is very helpful for a lot of people. And I've had people who have been on anti-inflammatory diets before, who've been on Fast Burn, to say they've been getting great results. And so, yeah, I think that's extremely important. And also I want to say something about weight loss. It's not just, one weapon against weight loss. They're small weapons, but it's the amalgamation of all the weapons that you want to use. You want to eat better. You want to move better. You want to try to eat cleaner foods, less processed ingredients. You want to watch what kind of fat you're consuming. All these different things by themselves, if you took one of those things by themselves, okay, it may not make a huge difference, but it's when you add all of them together. And in Fast Burn, I take this approach of adding all these little things that help, and therefore you get gigantic assistance in losing weight.
I love that. Okay, so now I want to talk about the burner smoothie, right? Because this is the signature drink of the Fast Burn. So what's in it and how does it burn fat?
Yeah, so the burner smoothie is my favorite. It's a signature drink. And what's cool about this book is we have a great recipe section, as you can see. And what I love about it is that these recipes are regular recipes. It's regular food, affordable food, and here's the key, it's gotta be tasty. Every recipe, whether it's the pork chops or the steak or the pasta, my grandmother's scratch pancakes recipe, it's all delicious. But the burner smoothie is our signature drink. And basically what you have is you have apples, you have 100% apple cider or apple juice to go along with it. You have apple cider vinegar, you have lemons. And I think people have to understand that citrus, particularly lemons, can be very good. It helps get your digestive system going. You can have blueberries or strawberries. I prefer blueberries in this smoothie. You can also have a little bit of coconut oil. And I tell people, here's the deal. You also want to have greens. Greens are great for fiber. So some baby spinach, some ice. And I think that people just realize, it's good. And some people want a banana in there. You can use banana or you can use yogurt kind of as your glue. And that's it. That's the burner smoothie. And the reason why it helps you to burn fat, multiple reasons. One, because with the combination of the apple cider vinegar, the combination with the lemon juice, and also the fact that you are actually not consuming as many calories as you would be consuming otherwise. So typically people will eat maybe 700 calories for breakfast, the burner smoothie is enough to fill you up for breakfast, and it's no more than 350 calories. And so
Wow.
all these things work together to help you, to put you once again into that negative energy balance state.
Yummy. It sounds so good. Okay, so people are joining on Facebook, right? You guys have a
Yes.
great Facebook page. Let's talk about that. And people are talking about results and asking questions.
One thing I've learned for doing this for a long time is that people who lose the most weight and keep it off the longest are those who have a good support system. And so years ago, when I came up with a book, I would start building these Facebook communities where people can exchange ideas, they meet each other. Two people living in Sarasota, Florida, for example, may all of a sudden say, hey, my goodness, I live here too. They become workout buddies and accountability buddies. So the Facebook group is called Fast Burn Challenge. People can join it, Fast Burn Challenge, just search for it. We have over 11,000 people in just 2 weeks who are in the group.
Wow.
And the beauty of that, yeah, it's unbelievable. The beauty of that is that with so many people, if you have a question, hey, page 93, it says, this is what my snack should be. Can I have this? You can pop questions 24/7, 365, and people will be online, and there's a great chance you'll get a very fast response. And so I'm a big fan of it. The people who are in the group have done tremendously well. And so there are new people coming in all the time, so you can never be too late. And by the way, if people don't have Facebook, my Instagram page, I also give out a lot of free advice. And that is at Dr. Ian Smith, spell the doctor out, I-A-N Smith, and I answer all my DMs.
You do, because I have DM'd you, so I can say you do. And I love your medicine cabinet and your inspirational workout. So definitely follow you on Instagram. Okay, so my other question for you, because people do the book, they do the 9-week program. What do they do after that? Do you recommend anything like a maintenance program?
Yes, so it depends on how much you have to lose. If you don't get all the weight off that you want, I recommend doing 2 cycles of the book. That will typically get most people to where they need to go. But this is a big point here. The way the book is laid out, it's trying to teach you how to make choices on your own. I don't expect you to follow Fast Burn, rule by rule, page by page for the rest of your life. Who wants to do that? No one wants to do that. But what I expect you to do after the 9 weeks is now understand how to make better decisions on vacation, when you're in the grocery store, when you're out at a restaurant, because you're never going to be perfect. I never asked you to be perfect, but when you are in control of making good decisions, you now know how to make good decisions. If you know you're going to have a dinner that's out with friends and it's not going to be the healthiest food, no problem. Breakfast and lunch, we'll get ourselves taken care of, we'll get ready, we'll eat really clean, really well, and then dinner, we'll have fun, no regrets. So the idea is by the end of the 9 weeks, I'm expecting you to be able to live your life by making smarter decisions, choosing cleaner foods, avoiding certain types of fats, and of course, movement. You have to mention that. People have to exercise, and by exercise, I don't mean you have to go an hour a day in the gym, not at all. In fact, there's a whole chapter in the book that teaches you simple things you can do right at home with no machines, no equipment, and 30 minutes, 4 or 5 days a week, moderate intensity. You can break it up, 15 in the morning, 15 at night. That is going to keep your metabolism going.
I love this. I can't wait to do it. Okay, so before we let you go, I have to ask you, because you've done so much, what are your goals for 2021?
I write fiction. My book that came out this past October is called The Unspoken. And one of my biggest goals is to get it sold, and it's currently being pitched to different streaming networks and broadcast networks to become a TV series. So
wow.
My team and I are working very hard. Actually, this is what it looks like, The Unspoken.
That is so exciting. Well, congratulations on everything. And you guys can get the book at Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can also go to driansmith.com and order there. So I will follow up with you on my results after I do the challenge. And I just want to thank you so much for being on the show today.
Well, thanks for asking me via Instagram to come on the show. See, social media isn't bad after all the time. And join our Facebook group. I'm in there. I do live sessions. So just look for Fast Burn Challenge.
I have the powerhouse ladies from Fashion Week San Diego here today. I want to welcome Allison Andrews Cantor, the founder.
Hi.
How are you?
It's fun to be here in your space. I love it.
And pregnant and looking gorgeous.
Oh yeah, right there, ready to pop.
And then we have Gwen Bates, who's the director.
Hi, nice to be. I'm so happy to be here. I'm thrilled.
We're so excited to have you.
Well, thank you.
We can't wait. We're all color coordinated too.
We are.
We did the color coordination today. We have to do that. And then Kayla Olson of Outsider Clothing, one of the designers.
Hi, I'm so pumped to be here. I'm so excited for Fashion Week too. Like, you guys are not prepared. It's gonna be so exciting.
That's the thing about Fashion Week, right? And that's what I was gonna say to you guys. I mean, I know about you guys. I love you guys. I've been following you forever. I mean, 10 years strong, right? Over that now? How
14.
Many? 14 years strong.
It's our 14th year.
14 years strong.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are one of the most impactful events in California. Over 100 plus designers all over the world. I mean, you've done so much. So educate the viewers a little bit about Fashion Week.
Yeah, so Fashion Week San Diego is a traditional fashion week, and we're very proud of that. We're one of the only independently owned and operated fashion weeks in North America that is the longest running. So we are recognized by the industry. We have the CFD's support. We've done collaborations with actual New York Fashion Week, LA Fashion Week. We've even worked with other fashion weeks abroad. And we are very, very fortunate that even though San Diego, and we're all biased as being San Diegans, right? We have a great position here as being a border city too. So we are the only official bi-national fashion week in the world. We usually have an equal representation of Latino designers or participation from our Latin brothers and sisters across the border, as we do with our US citizens, which we're very proud of being a border town. And in addition, our Fashion Week has been able to be a really strong launching pad for these emerging brands. And that, I think, as the founder, is my biggest takeaway, is we actually deliver what we say we're going to do. So whether you're a model who wants to get discovered and then become a New York-based model, like we've seen happen several times with many of our models, or an emerging brand like Kayla here, who wants to launch and be the next name known to everybody and covered on Nasty Gal or wherever else, Dolls Kill partnership with you. That's where I see you going. I see them coming after you. That's right. But you know, like, that's what my biggest takeaway is we're actually producing the results we're saying we're going to do. So we've been a great catalyst and a launching pad for amazing creative talent. And the neat thing is San Diegans and even people now virtually get to see it for themselves first.
We're so excited. Okay, so Gwen, I mean, you are no stranger to fashion.
Oh, I'm not.
You launched G Fashion 2015, right?
Yeah.
And it was a brand selected by Top Model. So how is it joining Fashion Week?
It's fabulous. So yeah, in 2015, that's actually where I got my official start with the Fashion Week platform with Allison.
Yeah.
And from there, I just launched incredibly. And so being, here in Fashion Week, it's surreal because I know what it can do for a brand. And I want to see every brand succeed, especially, brands like Kayla's and all of our designers this year.
I love that so much. And you guys, I know you guys curate stuff all year long. So this is not just this time of year. It's all year long that you're doing things. Now with COVID, I know you guys had to pivot a little bit. So talk to us a little bit about how that's working now.
So last year was Gwen's first year coming on as acting director, and I felt terrible because can you imagine? Hi, welcome to Fashion Week San Diego. We do this whole portfolio of events a year. Oh, and by the way, you can't throw any events. Yeah. So we literally in the 11th hour, you're correct, had to pivot. We went completely virtual. We canceled all our signature events except for the big October runway shows. It was very, very important that we followed through and held our commitments to our designers and our fan base and learn on the fly how to produce a very large scale event. And it was like the Oscars. I mean, we brought in a whole film crew. We had multiple camera angles. We had a whole production bay with switchers, and I was running one of the switchers and calling shots. I mean, it was incredibly fun and stimulating after doing something for so long, so it gets mundane,
Yeah.
So changing it up like that was very fun for me, but we were, to be quite candid, we just would have been happy if we had 100 people buy a virtual ticket at that situation. Last year was really tough, and a lot of our colleagues didn't make it. We ended up having over 650 people buy virtual tickets in the 11th hour to tune in.
That's great.
It was so flattering. That was incredible. But this year, knowing what we did last year, we did a survey, like I was telling you off camera, to really read our audience comfort level. What we've decided to do is only do our 3 signature events. So we have our spring showcase next week, which you'll be attending.
I can't wait.
And that will be free and live on Instagram and Facebook. And then for those who got a lucky ticket, they get to come.
Okay.
And then we have our big event, the Art and Beauty Behind Fashion Week, our fashion event with Sotheby's in New York, which got canceled last year and went completely virtual. virtual, and that was such a shame. But it was great for us to be virtually still connected to them. But this year in Manhattan, our designers will actually get to be in that gallery and do our signature event there in New York. So we're very pleased about that. And then of course our signature runway shows in October. So and all of these events will have a virtual component again, so people don't feel like they're going to be missing out on it, and have access to it from wherever you're at in the world. And also for those who are ready to get out and socialize and be in person, you'll have that option as well.
That's it.
But tell them about our fun fact this year that we've never had in our history, and I think it's very on trend. I'm very biased to this myself, but with what's going on in the world too, and Cindy would totally dig this.
Yeah, so all of our designers are female.
We've never had that happen.
Brands, all of them.
Oh my
100%.
gosh.
Yes. And we have a diverse lineup as well.
Okay.
And so that's another thing that we do have is we have
Our
the
diversity
only
fund.
diversity and cultural program known to any fashion week worldwide here in San Diego.
Wow.
So we're very happy to have that, and we just kind of want to let people know that too. And it's even more incredible that they're all female this year.
I'm so excited.
Like, how did that happen?
Tell Cindy more about our diversity fund though, like what makes it so unique, because that's a very broad word that I think everyone is kind of throwing around.
Right.
It is. And so, well, of course, Allison has built this thing up so diverse, and inclusive from size, shape, color, sex. But we've honed in on, the ethnicity. And so we have developed a program that the Diversity Fund is Diversity and Cultural Designer Fund. And so what we're doing there is we're raising money so that we can put certain designers through that the Small Business Act deems socially impacted.
Wow.
So we're trying to go into those underserved communities where there's designers who are professional but just can't get to the level of being on an actual professional fashion week.
But incredibly talented and need their
Yes.
shot.
And we know that there's so many pop-up fashion weeks everywhere, even in San Diego, but this one is original and it is here to stay. It's been, since 2007. So this is totally different.
This is amazing.
And
It's
we're
pretty
super
cool.
proud to have it
Yeah.
here.
This is so exciting. And how many designers do you guys have?
9 this year.
So you have 9.
We capped
Okay.
it at 9 because of the New York partnership with Sotheby's,
Okay.
and we are working with 9 curated works of art that we've assigned them to.
Okay.
And also because we didn't know what the climate would be.
Right.
And I'd rather be cautious than ambitious right now, right? So we didn't want to go past 10, and then when we got the painting submitted back from our partner, the Art Renewal Center in Sotheby's, it was a total of 9, so we just
Okay.
worked with that number.
That's
where we
great.
capped it this year.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, so we are going to get a sneak peek of some designs today, right? So Kayla, talk to us about your inspiration. I want to learn a little bit about you. 20 years old.
Yes.
I mean, you already have this line. I'm so impressed with everything
Thank
that you're
you.
doing.
Thank
so
you.
talk to us about your line.
Okay, yeah, so Outsiders Clothing is a brand that I created literally a week after my 18th birthday when I was still in college. I started it with $30 to my name, so like broke as a college student can be. But I grew up an artist, and my parents are both artists, and I wanted to, turn that into a career. And it is literally a dream come true that we're here now, and like being a part of Fashion Week, it's incredible.
And so you're in a look today.
I am.
So tell us about what you're wearing.
So I am wearing our Toxic active jacket and joggers. I'm known for like loud graffiti type stuff. So this is like one of my favorite sets. Little matching moment.
So cute. And I love too is that you felt like an outcast, right? When you were growing up. So this line for you, there's a lot of passion behind putting it together.
Oh yeah, because I was always like the weird kid that like got picked on or like dressed funny. I didn't have a lot of friends, and I wanted it to make like my life's goal to help other people like never feel like they're actually alone, and they actually do fit in. You just gotta find your crew,
I love that. Oh my gosh, I'm so
Your
excited.
tribe, your crew. Yeah.
Exactly.
Find your tribe. Okay, so we have Andre here today who looks fabulous. He's going to come out and showcase a look. So walk us through what Andre is going to be wearing today.
All right, so Andre is in our graffiti joggers, and the top and jacket are kind of a new thing I'm doing. So they're hand painted. I'm very inspired by like old school punk culture and punk rock and everything that like the old school punk values stand for. And so that was kind of inspired by that. As you can see, I went a little nuts on the safety pins.
I love that.
Yeah, so for Fashion Week, I'm doing something that I don't think my fans have ever seen before, and that's why I'm really excited. I'm doing very one-of-a-kind pieces.
So these are hand painted.
Yes.
This is insane.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when you so your line, what do you want people to feel with your line?
I want it to make people think.
Okay.
All of my designs and stuff all have like a story and a meaning, and as art is, it's up for interpretation. And I want it to, have people think like, what does this mean to me?
Well, and you stand out with these pieces,
Yeah.
which I love.
Oh yeah.
And how exciting is it to be part of Fashion Week?
Oh my gosh, I literally cried when I found out that I was chosen as a designer. Like literally I called my mom and I was like, Mom, I got in. But
Yeah, I love that.
And
That's a great lesson.
How about like interacting with the other designers? Has that been, that must
so
have been
inspiring.
amazing.
It's so inspiring. It's so cool, and like all of our designers this year are female, and like that is so cool to be in like a group of such like driven, amazing women. Like that, it's so cool.
Well, we love it. You look amazing. Thank you, Andre. Yeah, you guys, thanks for our exclusive. So you guys, there's several events going on, so we want to make sure that you guys get the information on the Spring Showcase event. So I know we have everything up on the website, and you can get all that information. And then the designer runway show, the trunk show, right?
Yeah, that's how we always close. You know,
Right.
we always do our designer runway shows, and then the following day is our signature trunk show, which we didn't do last year due to COVID and being virtual. It's obviously something you need to interact with. So this year we will do it again, and we're very excited. So you'll actually be able to shop and touch and feel and interact with the designers and see their collection that just came off the runway the next day.
Wow.
As well as we do our award show that day, which is really fun because guests of Fashion Week can always vote on our app. And last year we had to do it live from our breakfast meeting rooftop at the Hotel Republic. This year we'll actually get to have an actual award ceremony again, which will be lovely.
That's amazing,
Yeah.
you guys. And I'm sure you guys want to shout out to your sponsors. You guys always have such amazing sponsors.
We're very lucky.
I'm blown away when I see all the people that you're working with. And then also I want to give you guys kudos for all the charity work that you do and the giving back component, because you do a lot, and you both. It's so powerful.
You know, I think what's important is, like you said, find your tribe, find your group. Well, one thing that's always been important to me is you get what you give, right? So even outside of Fashion Week, it's just part of my lifestyle. Gwen was also the same way. So what's been nice is having her come on board as a director. We already share a lot of the same morals or just outlooks about how to take care of our community, whether it's inside Fashion Week San Diego or also outside. And that's very transparent and it's very authentic. And I love that because I think, like you said, you noticed it without us having to say it, and that's important.
Yeah, you guys do so much. I know you for the military community too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Which is huge.
Well, it is, because, we're a military state.
Yeah.
And, we can't forget our military. And so part of the masks that were donated last year by designers went to the military in Lemoore and to Camp Pendleton, because they were in need.
And then someone to Rady's Children's Hospital because
Yes.
I just I'm always finding a way to get them in, and Rancho Coastal Humane
And then I
Society
would say
for
the
my
animals for you.
is
I know.
huge. I know.
Everybody that knows you knows that.
I know, I can't help it. That's babies and animals and designers. I'm done. You got me.
Yay, well thank you guys. Okay, well so check everything out. We'll have everything on the website. Thank you ladies for being here, the Powerhouse ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
This is so
Andre,
fun.
we can't forget
Hi,
Andre.
Yeah, and Andre.
For more of these stories, you can go to thepulsesd.com. Make sure to follow us on social media at The Pulse SD for all the behind the scenes fun. That's going to do it for today's episode. I'll see you next time when we put our finger on the pulse of San Diego.